Mike Ming.
Desiree Fowler, Board President.
Barfield Secretary.
Bryce Anderson, Superintendent.
D is with family.
Is with family, so we're going to excuse her. It's on her way. So we're going to go ahead and start off with item 2, public hearing. Presentation of proposed budget and expenditures for the 2022 through 2023 school year. Lori Wilson.
Good evening. Right, good evening. Hello?
Does it need to be better?
Hello?
Oh,
got it. Good evening, Dr. Anderson, President Fowler, and board members. Tonight, I'm here to present fiscal year 23's proposed budget. So let's get started. I have a presentation over here. Hang on, I got it two-fisted here. Okay, the overview, we're going to cover the decrease we had in ADM these past years, the general budget limit, our M&O budget, which is our maintenance and operation, impact aid budget, district additional assistant fund, our classroom site fund, and finally the special other projects that we get money from for our district, okay? So here we go. This is just a chart. I think I had one last time for you guys, but now this is where we're proposing with the new academy, taking some of our students, plus also some of the other losses that we had the past year. You can see the decline in our enrollment. So that is going to impact our budget. So let's start off with our general budget limit. So our revenue control is the total amount for which we can use and spend for our district in our maintenance and operations and our district additional assistant fund. So as you can see, we did have a decrease in almost 2 million. But what I'm going to tell you is when I did this proposed budget, these are on preliminary forms. The legislature has not passed a budget for Arizona yet this year. So we had to do on our last year's forms. So we're cautiously optimistic that when they release the new forms, when they pass the budget, that we might have some more positive news. As you move forward, you're going to be hopeful for that. Okay, so let's move on to the maintenance operation budget, the main one. You can see the biggest chunk is salaries, and we had to reduce salaries and benefits. That's our biggest way to get our cost savings for that 1.9 that we're going to lose. So you can see pretty much other areas we're going to try to stay pretty steady so we don't, it doesn't impact students, but the salaries are going to be have to reduce, whether that's watching out for all of our substitutes or we're just going to have to figure out a way to get that reduced. This is our impact aid budget. This is what we get for our students for living on the reservation. So last year we received more money than we're expecting to this year, again, because our number of students, our membership has been reduced. Fortunately, we had a big carryover. We still have a large amount to spend in that area, but the goal that's our least restrictive budget. That's where we can pull and purchase the most things from. So when we go from year to year, we do want to keep a carryover of fairly large, the goal at least 5,600. Because just like as we all encountered this year with the aggregate spending limit issue, if again they do not pass it and we go through that issue again, we may have to pull from our impact aid budget and put into M&O to cover what we have to pay out. And again, here we do take salaries and benefits out of impact aid. That is the biggest chunk right now that we take out of there. And the spending plan, the remaining 7 million, that's going to be in things that we're waiting, like curriculum, if we have to, buses. So again, that doesn't leave us a whole lot if we want to keep our goal or safety net of the 5,600,000. District additional assistant, this is our capital budget. We do have a little bit higher this year because when we did our figuring, it did come out higher, and I think that's to do with some of the numbers from during our COVID time. But we have an increase in that area, which is going to help us again with our capital items. Classroom site fund. This is what we give the teachers for their increase in pay and for their performance pay plan, which has been put before you guys. So the allocation is expected to go down this year, simply based it's because it's our lower ADM. So they're going to have a little bit less in that budget area. Also, our plan, what's going to be put before you tonight is a salary increase for our certified staff of 2%. That will also be taken out of the classroom site fund. So we are expecting to spend about 1.7 million out of that classroom site fund this year. And this is all of our additional funding that we get from other sources, our federal projects, all our title grants. We're expected to receive about 4.7 million there. ESSER 2 and ESSER 3, those are those relief and recovery funds that we received as a result of COVID. Over the 2 years, we have 4.3 million, but that's from last year to this year. But fortunately, that grant, we can move funds back and forth for the 2 years. Okay, state projects, we get a little bit from there. And adjacent ways, that's one that you brought up, Sandra. You wanted to make sure that we put in. And we decided since it didn't impact the tax a lot, we bumped it to the 100,000. So coming up to the part that impacts all of us, our assessed valuation, property taxes went up this year. And our SRP net assessed value went down because, of course, the plant closed. So that reduced us a great deal. The good news, well, moving forward is it is going to lower our tax rate, all these factors. So our equalization values, that's the whole amount that we get, that we receive to spend for our maintenance operation budget. So the equalization amount, the payments that we're going to get from the state, from the formulas that we're given, is 11 million. So the difference we have to make up is in the taxes that we all pay in our property taxes. So those are you can see these little taxes, are attributed to each one of those levels comes to a 3.8. That's going to be the tax percent that you're going to find on our property taxes. So here's what we want to see, the reduction in the tax rate. So we're expected to move last year's primary tax. I know a lot of you guys were really upset when we opened our taxes last year and saw that our property taxes had gone up. At this rate, if all going well, we will have a little bit of a reduction down to 3.8. And that is due to the difference in our transportation support level. Last year was because we didn't have any buses the year before, and it's based on prior year. So there wasn't busing. COVID was happening. We were not in person. So that really affected us last year for our tax rate. Also, the other factor to bring it down is the fact that our assessed property values are also up. So that's the good news. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you. And we'll be asking you to approve the proposed budget later tonight. Thanks.
Superintendent Anderson, do you have any questions, follow-ups?
Not at this time, President
All
Paul.
right, board members, no questions? All right. Thank you, Lori, for that presentation. We're going to go ahead and move on to item B, public comments. At this moment, we don't have any. So we're going to go to item C, adjourn public hearing. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Who's second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion was made by Mike, second by Chuck. Motion carries with 4 votes, and we're going to exit this meeting at 5:11 p.m. Going to go ahead and start off with our notice of regular board meeting. Again, thank you everyone for being here present with us. We're going to go ahead and start this meeting at 5:11 p.m. Can we start off with the roll call, please?
Chuck Weiss, board member.
Mike Mangan, board member.
Sandra Kinman. Desiree Feller.
Barb Shields.
Bryce Anderson, superintendent.
Thank you. Item B, Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask our superintendent to lead us off in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item C, moment of silence. Ask everyone to join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. Item D, approval of agenda. Have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the agenda for the regular meeting.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion was made by Charles, second by Mike. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item 2, announcement and comments. And again, at this moment, we do not have any, so we're going to go ahead and skip over that. Item 3, special business. Recognition and approval of donation made to the district. Looks like we have an arts and crafts supplies of 100 by Stephanie Dubies. Cash donation from Mr. Barry Sherman. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve donations.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion was made by Charles, second by Mike. Motion carries with 4 votes. Recognition of Employee of the Month, Mike.
All right, the first one we have is from Page High School, and it is Chris Worley. Nominated by Lee Gunther. He writes, Miss Worley is one of the hardest working and caring people I have had the pleasure working with in my 24 years in public education. She keeps the high school athletic department in check. She goes above and beyond her job title on a daily basis. Whether Chris is having a good day or not, she operates with a smile on her face. Her experience with athletics and understanding of all the stakeholders make her great to work with throughout the school year. Chris is worthy of this recognition and so much more. Thank you. And our second one is from Lakeview Primary, and it's Maureen Watorsky, nominated by Janice Bartholomew. Maureen has been a great asset to Lakeview Primary School and to Desert View. She has spent many years in the Page Unified School District teaching students in her computer class in first grade. She is retiring this year, and I believe that she should be recognized for her efforts. She is dependable and hardworking. She is often here at 7 in the morning to prepare. She cares about her students. If Maureen tells you she will do something, she always does. She always is willing to jump up in and try something new. I know Maureen speaks up for what she believes in is right and fair, and she's willing to share her ideas and resources with the team and with others. She will be missed. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation, Mike. Moving along to item number 4 with reports, governing board reports. Does anybody want to start us off?
forgot about had the opportunity to go to the leadership conference. Pretty interesting in regards to the training that was offered and some of the leadership introductions and what they talked about as far as how to be better leaders here in the district.
Well, I got the opportunity to go to the same training Friday at least, and it was good. So that's all I have.
Mike?
I don't have anything.
So I also attended the Summer Leadership Institute and Flagstaff as well. I am very bummed that I missed out on the entire pre-conference on Thursday because there was a lot of great information that was shared with board members, superintendents, and I spent most of my time sitting in executive meetings and board of directors meetings. So I made sure that my concern was addressed and that we never double book our executive committee members and also our board of directors for pre-conference. But other than that, it was good to see members from our district present at the Summer Leadership Institute. A lot of great information was shared and just looking forward to what the year brings us for the upcoming school year. And that is all I have to share. Superintendent report.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, on top of mind for me is I had an opportunity to spend about 3 hours with our transportation director today, Helene, driving around the district, and very eye-opening. And there's certainly a need for advocacy on the district's behalf for improvements out there. My real focus today was on the bus safety side of things, where our pickup and drop-offs are. Had an opportunity to drive down to the copper mine area, drove in to see what bus turnarounds look like in and around the chapter house. Took the I don't know how to put it in words. Washboard is really what comes to mind, but took the road across to Kaibito from there. Had an opportunity to see what our bus drivers are dealing with. And there is certainly a need for some more frequent care for those roads. The cost on our buses and transportation, parts are just going up in price, and whatever we can do to minimize that unnecessary cost just by some simple maintenance may be a very positive thing. But it was a great experience and learned an awful lot today. So that is top of mind for me.
Thank you. So number 5, unfinished business, which we have none. So we're going to go on to item 6, covering board consent agenda. Item A, statement concerning the consent agenda. I'm going to ask Sandra to go ahead and read that for us.
Copy of the consent agenda is available at the district administration office. All items listed will be considered as a unit by the governing board and will be approved with one motion. There will not be a separate discussion of these items unless a board member requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion was made by Sandra, second by Charles. Motion carries with 4 votes. Give me a second. Let me just.
I know there's a lot there.
All right, item 7, calendar of events. Board members, you have a copy of the board agenda. I'm sorry. Calendar of events.
I did not put one in.
Okay. All right, we'll probably get a copy sent to us, but moving along to, or do we have any questions? Nope. Okay, moving along to item 8, additional agenda items. A, approval of salary schedule for 2022-2023 school year. You have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the salary schedules for the 22-23 school year as presented.
Second,
I'll second.
Superintendent Anderson.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, before you are the salary schedules for the district for the 22-23 school year. Just to highlight the changes to the salary schedules, there is a 2% increase that has been added to the certified stepless salary schedule as well as other certified salary schedule. The increase was added to these schedules so that the district can remain competitive in hiring these staff members. The classified salary schedule has been increased in accordance with the increase approved by the board on May 10th, 2022 in the classified meet and confer agreement. Just a overview of that is levels 1 through 3 received an increase of $1.20 an hour, bringing us up to a competitive salary in our community of $14 an hour. Level 4 received an increase of 75 cents an hour, and levels 5 through 9 an increase of 50 cents. The increase does not apply to transportation classified as they received an increase earlier on in this current fiscal year. The salary schedules for all other groups do not see any increase in salary and remain as they were for 21-22.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any questions? Sandra?
No, I was just gonna say, maybe you should be an auctioneer. That was really good. I'm impressed. That's all I had.
Any other comments, suggestions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion was made by Sandra, second by Mike. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item B, approval of proposed budget and expenditures for the 2022 through 23 school year. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the proposed budget for fiscal year 22-23 as presented.
Second,
Second.
Superintendent Anderson.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, this was all laid out by Lori. Again, I will highlight this is the proposed budget. It is not the final budget. Again, one of the things that Lori shared that's very important is that we do not have a state budget, which is ultimately going to impact our budget. This will be coming back to the board at the July meeting as well.
Board members, do you have any questions, concerns, comments? None? All in favor say aye.
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 Motion was made by Sandra, second by Charles. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item C, discussion and possible action to approve a 2% salary increase for administrators, directors, and exempt staff not included in the classified or certified meet and confer increase for the 2022 through 2023 school year.
I make a motion to approve a 2% increase to designated staff as presented.
Second,
Second.
Superintendent Anderson.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, this list represents staff that did not see any type of increase for the 21-22 fiscal year. The total cost of this 2% increase for the individuals affected comes to a total of roughly $31,000 for the 22-23 school year.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any questions, concerns, comments?
Nope.
None? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion was made by Sandra, second by Charles. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item D, approval and possible adoption of My World Interactive American and World History for middle school, Page Middle School for the 2022 through 2023 school year.
I'll make a motion that we accept the adoption of My World Interactive American World History for the middle school.
Second,
I'll second.
Superintendent Anderson.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, Dr. Richard has worked with staff and administration in identifying needs for curricular areas. There are some additional items related to curriculum that falls under as well. What I can share with you is that at the middle level, there has been no formal utilized curriculum for social studies, specifically American history and world history. He worked collaboratively with the teachers to identify it. It has been on review and meets the threshold required by statute.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any questions, concerns, comments?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
I
Oh,
do.
sorry. Sandra?
Sorry. Are you fairly confident that this is a good, was it thoroughly vetted? I should say.
President Fowler, Ms. Kidman, members of the governing board, the curriculum was vetted, it was reviewed. Dr. Richard was an important step in the process to make sure that it was done the right way and to ensure that it aligns with community values.
I didn't see any of there was nothing attached like our usual checklist and stuff, so. Okay, sounds good. That's all I had.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, concerns, comments? Board members, we're gonna go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion was made by Mike, second by Sandra. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item E, discussion, possible approval of request to move level 3 paraprofessional to level 4 on the classified salary schedule.
I make a motion that we approve moving level 3 pairs to level 4 as presented.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Superintendent Anderson?
President Fowler, members of the governing board, this has been a collaborative effort to work to clean up really the paraprofessional position and ensure consistency and continuity. Really the outcome of this was to dig in and identify the specific areas of support that parapros are working with. There was some disparity in the way in that placement in the past, and this is an effort to clean that up. What we have done is move from a myriad of paraprofessional positions to an academic support paraprofessional, a special education paraprofessional, a structured English immersion paraprofessional, and a librarian paraprofessional as our 4 parapro positions moving forward. The SEI, instructional support, and special ed parapro will fall on that level 4 on the initial placement schedule, and the librarian position description falls on the level 6 on the initial placement schedule and does not change from where it was before.
Board members, do you have any comments, questions, concerns regarding the salary schedule, classified salary schedule?
No.
None? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion was made by Sandra, second by Charles. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item F, approval and possible adoption of Envision Math for Lakeview Primary and Desert View Intermediate for the 2022 through 2023 school year.
Make a motion to adopt Envision Math for 22-23 school year.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Superintendent Anderson?
President Fowler, members of the governing board, Envision Math is currently the curriculum that is utilized at the middle and high school levels. Desert View piloted Envision Math this school year. There is not an adopted curriculum at Lakeview. The pilot went well at Desert View and was embraced by staff. We are looking to simply formalize the adoption of math curriculum for consistency K-12.
Board members, do you have any questions, concerns, comments regarding the Envision Math?
No.
Sandra?
Same concern, thoroughly vetted.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion was made by Sandra, second by Mike. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item G, approval and possible adoption of Mystery Science and Generation Genius for Lakeview Primary and Desert View Intermediate for the 2022-2023 school year.
Make a motion to adopt Mystery Science and Generation Genius for 22-23 school year.
Is there a second?
I second.
Superintendent Anderson.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, the adoption of Mystery Science and Generation Genius for Lakeview and Desert View, while it is not necessarily, as I look at it, a curriculum, but more of a supplemental that teachers are able to pull from to utilize to dig into and expose students to science concepts. We're bringing it forth for board approval.
Board members, do you have any questions regarding these Mystery Science and Generation Genius?
Thoroughly vetted? You gotta roll my eyes, are we already?
I'm not rolling.
But wait, you just look back there, see all this stuff back there, we approved that, and, I would just hope that, I mean, it's hard to really dig through and make sure that everything's in there, and, I remember being in high school and, learning about, some textbooks that were used in the 40s in my own country, and just being absolutely shocked how manipulative they were. So if, and that's a long time ago, but history has a tendency of repeating itself. So anyway, I would hope that if any teachers or administrators or students or parents find anything in our textbooks that you take issue with, is that you would contact the superintendent or your administrator or one of us so we can take care of those issues, because despite our best efforts, sometimes things just slip through. So that would be my hope.
Thank you for sharing that, Sandra. Board members, do you have any other questions, concerns?
No.
All right. Call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion was made by Sandra, second by Charles. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item H, approval and possible adoption of MPS Social Studies for the 2022 through 2023 school year.
I'll make a motion to adopt MPS Social Studies for 22-23 school year.
Is there a second?
I second.
Superintendent Anderson.
As with the others, this, along with the middle school work that was done, was a collaborative effort between the teachers at the high school, Dr. Richard, and high school administration to identify a curricular resource that will work to meet state standards and also fall in line with our community standards.
Can I ask which school this is for?
Page High School.
Page High School. Board members, do you have any questions, concerns, comments regarding the MPES Social Studies?
Nope.
All right, call for a vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion was made by Sandra, second by Charles. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item I, approval of governing board meeting calendar for 2022 through 2023 school year. Board members, do you have any questions?
I make a motion to approve the governing board meeting calendar for 22-23.
Motion, yes. Second,
I second.
question, board members. Sorry about that. I'm trying to jump ahead.
Okay, do we have concerns about December?
That's my only thing. Just depending on vacations, you never know, people being available.
Oh, is that already during Christmas break?
Mhm.
Oh,
Makes even Christmas break right through first, second day.
And the week before is ASBA annual conference, huh?
Yeah, I don't have my calendar with me, but most likely it is. And
That's
my-
what it says on here, yeah, 14, 15, 16.
I have a proposal, if you guys wanna think about that for a second. If we moved our regular meeting to the 6th and then did our superintendent evaluation on the 8th or the 7th, we could avoid the whole thing.
I do not mind. That would be helpful.
We do it on the 8th, like on Thursday, have a day in between.
Mhm.
Does that work for everybody? Does that work for you?
That works for me.
Should we do that?
All right, so
Let the bruises heal or what?
board.
So have the regular meeting on Tuesday the 6th.
6th, all right.
So then on the 20th, we wouldn't have a meeting at all, because we never do a work study session in December anyway. And then have the superintendent evaluation on Thursday the 8th at our usual time. Because that's just weird how that calendar falls this year.
Well, the regular meeting
Just
was
overlap.
was the 20th, is when the regular, because of ASBA's, winter ASBA essays, winter conference.
But usually like December, like you know how the calendar falls, December just falls weird this year.
That's-
Yeah, that works. Make it work.
Why is, oh, there's a holiday. And then we just have one meeting in November, right, as well.
Yeah.
Everybody okay with that?
I don't mind the December schedule, but I'm kind of looking, and I'm sorry that I don't have my planner with me at the moment, but I'm looking at possibly September and October at the moment, but
The law conference is on the 7th. See all the purple stuff is the
Yeah.
ASBA stuff.
the 13th, I don't mind, it's the 27th. But I will get back with the board. Let's see.
What is that? What is that?
Commitments to the executive board,
Uh-huh.
county, or yeah, ASBA's county meetings.
County
So
meetings don't start till October though.
I believe they're starting in September
Oh.
and October.
Do you have to go to all of them?
Well, I'd like to just to get to know people across the state.
Yeah.
I'm an overachiever, sorry to say. But that's just my thing, but I'll get with Barb on that. Any other questions, concerns? Basketball tournament, February,
What?
did we look at that already? Oh, no, it won't affect us, right?
Should be.
Okay. Are we good everywhere else?
I think so.
All right. So we do have a motion that was made by Sandra, second by Charles. Do you want to go ahead and add that, those two
Change?
dates? Yeah, the changes to your motion.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the governing board meeting calendar as amended.
Second,
A second.
Charles. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion was made by Sandra, second by Charles. Motion carries with 4 votes. Item 9, future agenda items. Looks like that is also not available today. All right, board members, if you want to add any future items, please let Barb know or Superintendent Anderson.
President Ballard, we will be bringing the proposed budget back for adoption.
Okay. Proposed budget will be back on,
We will have a hearing proposed and then we will have it for adoption on the 20th.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Board members, any other questions, concerns? None?
I make a motion, we
Yeah.
adjourn.
Second.
Second?
Who was my second, Mike?
Mike, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion, was made by Sandra, second by Mike. Motion carries with 4 votes to adjourn at 5:40 PM.